how many children are being vaccinated, or how many people can actually reach a clinic within 30 minutes. That's the epidemiology in action. Now, using this population data to measure the performance. Now, and biostatistics, guys, no, it is the language we use, no, to make sense of those numbers. Okay? So, yan. So, what would be the key characteristics of a quality healthcare services? Now, ang key characteristics niyan, no, merong iba-iba. We have the comprehensiveness, accessibility, we have also here the coverage, the continuity, quality, person-centered, coordination, and the accountability and efficiency. Now, himay-himayin natin yung mga key characteristics ng ating quality healthcare services. First, we have comprehensiveness. Ibig sabihin, yung mga services covering everything, no? You will cover everything. Pagdating sa preventive care, no? When we say preventive care, for example, we have the vaccines. When we say curative care, no? More on treatment like antibiotics, no? Now, next we have the palliative care, no? Kapag sinabi natin palliative care, it is more on comfort care for serious illness. Pag rehabilitation naman, physical therapy. Pag health promotion, no? You will encourage the health habits, okay? So, comprehensiveness, again, it is a comprehensive range of health services is provided appropriate to the needs of the target population. Okay, so ibig sabihin, again, it will cover the services, no? It will cover the services, everything, no? Lahat under niya. Preventive, curative, palliative, rehabilitative, and health promotion activities. Again, no? So comprehensiveness, guys, ibig sabihin complete. Yun ang itatak nyo sa isip nyo. No? Kapag ka-quality healthcare services comprehensiveness, ibig sabihin kompleto ang mga serbisyo. Okay? So imagine your healthcare as a puzzle. Okay? So comprehensiveness means that all necessary pieces are there. A quality healthcare service provides a wide range of services that cover everything from preventive care to treatment for illness and even rehabilitation. It's like having all puzzle pieces, no, to ensure your health is well taken care of. Okay? Now, we have here the palliative care. Pag sinabi nating palliative care, it is a specialized medical care for people living with a serious illness, such as cancer or heart failure. Now, patient in palliative care may receive a medical care for their symptoms or palliative care along with the treatment intended, no, para ma-cure yung kanyang serious illness. Or kumbaga kapag palliative care, ibig sabihin, iiis lang yung pain, no? To ease the pain of the patient natin. What about curative care? When we say curative care, it is given when the doctors, no, kapag yung mga doktor natin, they believe na yung patient natin can potentially recover or continue living without a decent quality of life. In contrast, guys, doon sa ating palliative care, it is not about curing a patient, but instead focusing on providing ng comfort ng ating pasyente going through the treatment. Now, kapag ka sinabi nating palliative in Tagalog, pag yung pasyente ninyo, kunyari may cancer, no? Palliative care yung ibibigay doon, lalo na kapag end stage, no? Pagka sinabi nila na oh, ang patient nyo po ay 3 months na lang. So, ibig sabihin, palliative care yon. Ibig sabihin, magfo-focus kayo kung paano nyo i-comfort yung pasyente ninyo. Paano nyo ba i-comfort yung pasyente ninyo? Pakainin nyo na siya ng mga gusto niyang pagkain, ilabas nyo siya, ganon, para lang mais yung pain ng ating pasyente. Kapag kasi sabi naman natin curative care, ito po yung continue, no? Potential, may potential na makarecover yung pasyente natin during his or her illness. Okay? So services also should be accessible. No one should be blocked by cost, by distance, or culture. So these are measurable through health statistics. For instance, guys, We can quantify how many people live within 5 kilometers of the health facility or how many patients receive a preventive screening. Now, dito na papasok si epidemiology. The epidemiology uses these measures to evaluate whether a health system is performing well. For example, nasa Makati kayo, take note that all barangays in Makati merong they are accessible, may mga health center, correct? May mga health center. So ibig sabihin, nilalapit doon sa publiko yung serbisyong pangkalusugan, okay? So ganon. Now, accessibility is like the front door of the healthcare. So quality healthcare should be easily accessible to all, okay? Regardless sa iyong economic status or sa iyong location or sa background ninyo. So it's about making sure that the people can get the care they need when they need it without any barriers. Okay? So what is the difference between primary, secondary, and tertiary care? Now, these are the levels of care. Ano ba ang care sa'yo ng Bebe Labs mo? Primary ba yan? Secondary ba yan? Or tertiary? Now, ngayon, i-ano nyo mamaya, tag rito, isabuhay ninyo kung may mga Bebe Labs ba kayo, ano ba ang kanyang pag care level sa inyo, primary ba, secondary o tertiary. Now as you can see in this slide mga kapatid, no, we have the examples, the descriptions and priority of the levels of care. Now the levels of care is divided into three. We have the primary, the secondary and the tertiary. Now, pagka sinabi nating primary, this is the first contact. Like the barangay health station or yung mga rural health units natin. Think of it as the frontline defense where most common illness are managed. Kasi pagdating sa primary care, no, the networks, no, first points of contact. So sila, kung kunyari malapit nasa Makati ka, yung mga barangay health center diyan, it is actually under the level of primary care. Okay? So next, we have the secondary. Kapag ka sinabi nating secondary, ito yung hospitals with specialists and diagnostic services. Dito na, for example, nag-i-include ang ICU. For example, no, we have the sporadic consultation with specialists. Andiyan na yung may mga espesyalista na mga doktor natin. Okay? So, advance ang intervention pagdating sa secondary. Okay. What about tertiary? Now, in tertiary care, advanced hospitals with high-tech equipment and subspecialists, no? They are often located in the major cities. For example, Philippine Heart Center, Lung Center, St. Luke's, and so on, yung mga malalaking hospitals natin. Now, in epidemiology, guys, knowing which level handles which cases is important. For example, if most cases of dengue are managed at primary care na manage mo siya during the primary care, then the resources should be concentrated there, correct? But if they overwhelm the tertiary hospitals, we know there's a system imbalance. Now, papasok dito ang biostatistics natin. Yung biostatistics natin ngayon, it will help us, no, to track where the patients go, what resources they use, and what outcomes they experience. So, suma total, kapag sinabing primary, yan yung unang-una nyong pinupuntahan. Kapag may simpleng lagnat, pwede kang pumunta ng primary care. Now, in laboratory, di ba, naaral nyo na ba ang mga ng classifications ng lab natin, primary, secondary, tsaka tertiary sa mga medtech. Pag primary, usually ang ginagawa lang dyan, CBC. O, CBC, urinalysis, yung mga routine. O, CBC, urinalysis, fecalysis. Pag secondary, maglalagay ka na dyan ng clinical chem. No? May electrolytes ka na, meron ka ng serology. O, yan. Pag tertiary, kompleto. May histopath ka, tsaka meron ka na ring bacteriology na section. Okay? Kung baga, no, sa primary, yung pinaka ano lang yan tag dito, pinaka first line ng treatment. Secondary, kapag hindi kinaya ng primary, pumunta ka ng secondary. Pag di kinaya ng primary tsaka secondary yung treatment, pumunta ka sa tertiary care. Okay? So dapat ang pag-care sa inyo ng inyong Bebe Labs ay tertiary. Bakit? Kompleto. From basic to the specialization. Okay? Dapat tertiary. Huwag niyong hahayaan na ang treatment ng care sa inyo ay primary at secondary lang. Dapat tertiary tayo. Okay? So next slide, no? So is there a quaternary level of care? Now, when we say quaternary level of care in the Philippines, it is a general associated with highly specialized government hospitals such as the Philippine Heart Center, the National Kidney Transplant Institute, and the Lung Center of the Philippines. Now, kapag sa heart centers natin, so these are the often considered the pinnacle of care, no? Offering highly specialized medical services. Itong ating mga specialized government hospitals natin dyan. Okay? So, in-next na natin ha, kasi from the word heart, malamang focus yan sa heart, cardiac. Pag sinabing kidney, transplant, tsaka yung mga kidney. Kapag ka lang, syempre dun sa respiratory diseases. Okay? So, natapos na natin ang dalawa. Meron tayong comprehensiveness. Ano nga pag comprehensiveness? Completeness. Kapag accessibility, dapat accessible sa lahat. Either mayaman ka, mahirap ka, o kung nasa ang manglupalop ka. Okay, dapat daw ang healthcare services mo ay complete. Number two, accessible. Number three, coverage, no? Ang coverage dapat, no, broad spectrum ng serbisyo. Okay? So services should reach the entire population. Dapat ma-reach na yung entire population natin, no? We often measure this with vaccination coverage rates. Okay, mga example, vaccine natin. Okay, so think a healthcare coverage as your safety net. It means that your healthcare plan should cover a broad spectrum of services, including doctor's visit, hospital stays, medications, and more. So it's like having insurance against unexpected health issues. Okay, so kumbaga dapat kompleto. Andon kahit kay primary ka, kay secondary ka, kay tertiary ka, dapat meron kang laboratory, may pharmacy ka, tapos meron ka pang mga doktor. Okay? So broad spectrum ng services. Okay? Next, no, number four, we have continuity. When we say continuity, a patient should get consistent care. Dapat, no, mga Bebe Labs nyo, dapat may continuity, consistent care across their life. Okay? For example, a diabetic patient getting continuous follow-up. Yung mga high blood patient natin, continuous ang kanilang BP monitoring, tsaka yung kanilang mga maintenance medicine. Okay? So healthcare is just not one-time thing. Okay? Continuity means that your care is consistent and ongoing. Your healthcare provider should keep your medical records, follow up on your progress, and ensure that you receive consistent care over time. So it's like having a reliable friend, no? Who's always there for you. Okay? So, ganyan. So, yan ang continuity natin. So, life cycle siya, okay, over the life cycle. For example, yung mga patient natin na may HIV, di ba, they take a ARV, the antiretroviral drug. So, monthly dapat mag-report sila. So, ibig sabihin may continuity ng service, ng healthcare service natin. Okay? So, next, no? So, tapos na tayo. Again, tapos na yung apat. First, completeness. Number two is accessibility. Number three is coverage. Number four is continuity. Number five is quality. Siyempre, dapat hindi lang complete, hindi lang accessible. Dapat may quality yung service natin. Okay? So, quality care should be safe, effective, and timely. Mortality and complication rates are ways we measure this one. So paano mo masasabing may quality ang healthcare service? I-measure mo yung mortality rate tsaka yung complication rates, no? Para masabi mong may quality ang inyong serbisyo. Okay, so quality is the heart of healthcare. So ibig sabihin, the care you receive is effective, safe, and based on the best available evidence natin. So quality healthcare should lead to positive health outcomes and minimizes the risk of harm. So it's like getting a well-cooked meat that not only tastes good, but it's also good for your health. Hindi yung bara-bara. Kaya nga kayo nasa CEO no? Quality ang pinoproduce ng mga medtech. Kaya pagdating no ng second year, third year, first sem, and third year, second sem, yan. Medyo ano na, gagalawin na kayo pagdating nyo ng second year, second sem dahil sa para at sa AUBF ninyo. How much more pagdating nyo ng buong third year ninyo. Okay? So, dapat, no, puspusan, dikdikin kayo para maganda yung quality na maiproduce ng CEO na medtech. Okay? So, ganun dapat. Okay? So, quality. Number two, dapat din daw person-centered. Okay? So healthcare should be built around the patient, not just the disease. Okay? So ibig sabihin ng person-centered, 'di ba pagdating ng ibang hospital sa mga government, no? Alam ko naman na may mga naka-experience na masusungit ang staff, no? Unlike sa pag-treat sa private, disclaimer lang ha, hindi naman nilalahat ko ng mga government tawag rito government na mga workers. Okay, may iba namang mababait. Pero sa mga feedback nakikita na sa social media, 'di ba? Iba ang care pagdating pa rin sa private setting, okay? So this one's all about you, okay? Sa inyo, sa atin, okay? Person-centered care means that healthcare providers treat you as an individual, taking into account your preferences, your values and needs. It's like having a tailor-made suit but for your healthcare, okay? So ayan. So again, no? So dito sa person-centered tsaka sa quality, huwag niyong kakalimutan ang ating twin motto, science and virtue. Dapat 70% character kayo and 30% knowledgeable. Okay? Mas maganda pa rin, okay, na mas maganda ang ugali ninyo kaysa mas matalino kasi ang ugali hindi na nareremedyohan yan ang knowledge ninyo nadadagdagan habang tumatagal kayo. Okay? So itatak nyo yan, no? Kapag kayo medtech na, science and virtue. Okay? Character before knowledge dapat. 70% character, 30% knowledge. Okay? So next, number 7, coordination. When we say coordination, okay, so services across the different providers should work together para mabigyan nyo ng magandang quality na serbisyo yung inating mga yung ating population. Okay? So imagine your healthcare as a team sport. Coordination means that different healthcare providers work together as a team, no, para makapag-provide ng seamless care natin. So dapat may communication, nag-share ng information and ensure that you don't fall through the cracks, no? It's like a well-orchestrated symphony where everyone plays their part, okay? Dapat, again, may communication para may coordination, tsaka nag-share ng information. Kaya nga pagdating ng medtech law ninyo, okay, kapag ni-recite ninyo yung Code of Ethics ng medtech, may ganyan doon. Okay? I will share information knowledgeable by my colleagues. Ganon. Okay? So, Code of Ethics pagdating nyo ng second year, second sem. Okay. Next, lastly, we have accountability and efficiency. Okay. So, services should minimize the waste and be transparent in performance. Okay. So accountability is about taking responsibility. Okay, taking responsibility for actions and outcomes. Okay. Sorry, nawawala. Anong last na nasabi ko? Asa na tayo? Efficiency ba?
Yes po, sir.
So efficiency again, it's like using your resources wisely. So quality healthcare should be delivered in a way that minimizes the waste, no? So both in terms of time and money, it's about getting the most bang for your healthcare back. Okay? So that's why managers are allocated. So uulitin ko yung mga ating healthcare quality services. Now we have comprehensiveness, ibig sabihin, kompleto dapat ang serbisyong binibigay, accessible para sa lahat, kung ano mang estado ng buhay mo. Tapos yung coverage mo dapat, it should be broad spectrum, no? Hindi putyo-putyo. Continuity, hindi ibig sabihin na kapag nagpagamot ako sa iyo, hindi mo na ako kakamustahin do. It should have a continuity or continuous service, no? Consistent yung pag-aalaga, okay? So quality, dapat it should be safe, effective, and timely. Okay? So person-centered, again, ipapasok nyo lang dito yung science and virtue nating mga scholarians. Okay? So coordination, dapat may teamwork, nagsishare ng isa't isa. Okay? Nagsishare ng idea sa bawat isa, hindi dapat sinosolo. Accountability, okay? So responsibility, you will take a responsibility in every action. Kapag sa sinabi nating efficiency, no, you will use your resources wisely. Okay? So next, no, punta na tayo sa what are the features of quality healthcare and how to measure them. Okay? So ayan, so again, no, comprehensiveness, no, this slide is more on characteristics ng ating quality healthcare. So what's important for us in biostatistics and epidemiology is that each of these can be tracked using numbers, no? So one, comprehensiveness measured by the range of services available. For example, percent of the facilities that offer preventive, curative, rehabilitative, and palliative care. Kapag ka-accessibility naman, i-measure natin dito yung barriers indicator. For example, yung porsyento ng population natin living within 5 kilometer of the health facility. So, average travel time to clinic or out-of-pocket health expenditure. Number three is that coverage, no? It will measure the percentage of people reach, no? For example, yung mga vaccination coverage, percent of women receiving prenatal care. Okay? Continuity, this will follow more on follow-up rates, no? Follow-up check-ups, no? Retention rate, kumbaga. For example, yung mga TB patient natin, ilan na ba yung mga complete na na-treat doon? Okay? So, ayan. Okay? So, next we have the quality. It measures the outcome naman. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, more on the hospital mortality rate, yung complication rate, yung infection rate after surgery, yung person-centeredness, no? I-measure yan yung 1 to 10. Kamusta po ang serbisyong binigay? Okay, yung mga client satisfactory scores, yung mga ganyan. Service acceptability rates natin. And number 7, we have coordination. Usually, it measured by referral completion rates. No? For example, percent of patients successfully referred from barangay health station to hospital. When we say accountability and efficiency naman, usually it measures the resources used, no? Yung cost per patient, percent of health budget spent versus wasted, no? So if you notice, guys, each feature of the quality healthcare is something we can actually measure, okay? That's why biostatistics and epidemiology, they are important, no? They will turn the concepts like accessible or quality into numbers that can be tracked, pwede nating i-compare tsaka improve, 'di ba? So kung nakikita nyo ng kagandahan ngayon ng biostat and epidem, 'di ba? So kung nakikita mo ay parang hindi maganda ang ano ng isang healthcare system. So i-check nila dito yung mga features ng ating healthcare system natin. Kung ay bakit kaya baka sa quality, marami nagkakasakit, ay ano kaya baka anong pwede nating gawing remedyo para mas gumanda pa yung healthcare system natin. Ang tanong ko sa inyo, maganda ba ang healthcare system ng Pilipinas? Oh, during pandemic, nakita nyo ba? Maganda ba ang ano? Alam nyo, nung during the pandemic, kahit ang tawag dito, meron pa ding mga ano talaga yung mga may kaya, iba gusto nila nun, mabilis ang resulta, 'di ba? Yung mga walang kaya nag-aantay ng resulta, mga demanding, no? So again, sabi ko nga mas maganda pa rin ang character kaysa may matalino ka kasi ang talino nadadagdagan, ang character hindi na yan. Kung paano ka hinubog, okay? Ganun na ang character, hindi na babago yan. Okay? So next, no? Punta na tayo sa ito. Now, we've discussed what quality healthcare looks like in theory. Okay? So let's see how the world tried to put these ideas into practice. Now, in the year 2000, guys, buhay na ba kayo nung 2000? So the United Nations launched the MDGs or what we call the Millennium Development Goals. So these are the 8 global targets to be achieved by 2015. And two of them, the MDG 4 tsaka yung 5, yung reduce child mortality tsaka improve maternal health, were directly focused on health, no? Reducing a child mortality and improving maternal health. Why this? Because as we'll see, maternal and child health are very sensitive indicators of whether a health system is accessible, equitable ba yung healthcare services natin, tsaka effective ba. So they reflect many of the features we just discussed, yung comprehensiveness, yung accessibility, coverage, and quality natin. Okay? So 4 and 5. Okay? So these goals now cover things like reducing poverty, improving improving maternal, sorry, and child health, achieving universal primary education, and fighting the disease like HIV/AIDS and malaria. So they were a kind of roadmap for government natin, no? Tsaka yung mga organization natin na mag-work sila together or may coordination sila to make the world healthier, fairer, and more sustainable. Now guys, the MDGs here pave the way for the Sustainable Development Goals o yung SDGs natin, which are like the sequel of the MDGs natin. So, ang SDG natin, may broader set yan of 17 goals, no? 17 goals ang SDG natin that will aim to make the world a better place by 2030. So, in a nutshell, ang MDGs natin were like a starter pack, no, for global development, and now we're working on the next level, which is the SDGs. Ulitin ko, kapag MDGs 8 lang yan. Kapag SDG, 17 yan. Alam ko, i-discuss yun sa community and public health ninyo, yung mga SDG, SDD, tsaka yung MDG na yan. Ang tanong ko sa inyo, na-achieve ba natin yung 4 and 5? No? Kasi nga, ang sabi sa MDG, dapat by 2015, okay, ma-achieve natin tong 8 to. But pagdating sa health, 4 and 5 ang pinaka-target natin. Ang tanong, na-achieve kaya natin ang 4 and 5. Okay. Now, one of the targets under MDG 5, no, the target 5A was to reduce the global maternal mortality ratio by 75% between 1990 and 2015. Now, the WIPO, the WIPO, by around 2013 to 2014, the global maternity mortality rate had fallen by about 45% from the 1990 baseline. So the MDG, okay, that is based on the MDG, no, 45%. Okay. So this shows a solid progress, okay? But it also shows that many countries were not on track to meet the 75 reduction goal, the full 75 reduction goal. Now, may gap, 'di ba? May gap. So this gap now will highlights where the epidemiology and biostatistics are needed to track or i-compare nila, and ano pa ba yung ipupush nila for better healthcare system natin. Okay? So next, no? Now, focus tayo sa MDG 5, maternal care and child care. Okay. So MDG is challenge the world, no, to reduce the maternal mortality by, alam nga, sabi ko kanina, 75% between 1990 and 2015. Now, dapat by 2015 we only manage around 45% reduction. That was a progress. Tama. May progress naman, bumaba naman ng 45. But it also meant that too many women were still dying from preventable causes. So the next logical question is, where are we now? Okay. Now let's zoom in on a maternal and child health. Why do we focus on this? Because no, the health of mothers and children is the mirror, sinabi ko kanina, of the entire health system natin. If women are dying during the childbirth from preventable causes, it shows that yung healthcare natin ay falling or failing, no? Failing na yan or wala, falling na, no? If ang children mo are dying before age 5, no, it also reflects no the poverty, no? It reflects poverty, ano pa, lack of vaccine or may poor nutrition. Now, from an epidemiology perspective, indicators like the maternal mortality ratio and under 5 mortality rate, they are standard measures of population health. So they allow us to compare the countries and monitor the progress natin. Now, what about in biostatistics perspective? We analyze these numbers over time. No? Are death rates going down after an intervention? Oh, nagkaroon tayo ng intervention, bumababa ang death rates natin. Are there differences between the regions? May iba-iba ba nangyari do sa mga regions natin? Now, for a society, no, healthier mother and children means no, stronger families, no, better productivity and less poverty. That's why maternal and childcare is not just a medical issue. It is a what? Public health, economic and social priority. Okay? Now, despite greatest progress, there are still too many mothers and children dying, mostly from causes that could have been prevented. So by examining the maternal and child care, we can see how these characteristics we've discussed are put into action in a very tangible and impactful matter natin. Okay? So ayan, so and every day in 2020, 800 women die from preventable causes related to pregnancy and childbirth. Almost 95% of all maternal deaths occurred in low and lower middle income countries in 2020. Now, in 2012, 6.6 million children died before age 5 to 5 million of them in the first year of life. Mantakin nyo, ngayon naman namamatay ng mga bata natin. So, ayan. So, next, no, here are some of the to-date stats, no, sa maternal care and child care natin. Now, maternal mortality then versus now. Earlier data, around 2010 to 2015, no, 800 women dying every day from preventive pregnancy and childbirth-related causes. Now, 90%, 95% in 90% in low and lower middle income countries. Yung recent data natin in 2023, they are still 700 women dying every day. So the proportion in low income settings remains what? Above 90%. Okay? So anong interpretation dito? Despite, no, despite the global progress, maternal deaths remain stubbornly high and inequities between rich and poor countries haven't closed. Okay? Next, what about child mortality? Noong 2012, 6.6 million under 5 deaths with 5 million dying in the first year of life. In 2023, about 4.8 million under 5 deaths. That's an improvement, tama? I mean, nagkaroon naman ng improvement kasi from 6.6 noong 2012 naging 4.8 na lang. But it still means 13,000 children die every day. Most from preventable causes, no, like pneumonia, diarrhea, malaria, tsaka malnutrition. Ano ang ngayon ang interpretation dyan? The trend is improving but the numbers are still unacceptably high. Mataas pa din. Okay? So next, no, let's connect the dots, no? In the MDG natin, no, we had alarming numbers of 800 maternal deaths per day and a millions of children dying before age 5. Now, more than a decade later in the SDG era natin, what do the numbers look like? Maternal deaths have barely moved, still around 700 a day. child deaths have declined from 6.6 million in 2012 to about 4.8 million in 2023. Okay, may progress. Pero ibig sabihin, thousands of preventable deaths every single day. Meron pa din, but it still means thousands of preventable deaths every single day. So it is getting better? Yes, 'di ba? So the data shows improvement, especially for children, but are we done? Tapos na ba? Definitely not. Di pa tayo tapos, no? Maternal health progress is stagnant and inequalities remain huge. That's why measuring these indicators with epidemiology and analyzing them with biostatistics remains critical, okay? Because without data, we can hold the systems accountable or push for better outcomes. Kaya nga nag-aaral kayo ng biostat at epidem. Okay? So next, no, we have here the sustainable growth, okay? The SDG, okay? Ang ano lang titignan niyo dito, Goal 3, good health and well-being, no? Unlike the MDGs, ang SDGs natin they are broader, covering not only maternal and child health but also communicable diseases, non-communicable diseases, universal health coverage and health emergencies natin. Okay? So ayan, so 3 tapos 17 partnerships of the goal. No, there are broader set of 17 goals, no? So sana ma-achieve natin tong SDGs na to by the year 2030. Okay? Now, ang SDG 3 natin tsaka yung may 13 targets to tong good health and well-being. Ano yung mga 13 targets niya? Either you will reduce the maternal mortality, deaths under 5 years of age, no, fighting communicable disease, reducing mortality from non-communicable disease, and promoting mental health. Ano pa? Preventing and treating substance of abuse and so on. Okay? More on ano to, dun sa public health nyo na. Okay? Next, no? So, SDG 3, good health and well-being. Ito yung mga target ng ating SG 3 natin. Okay? So much on that because this one is more on in your public health subject. So, yan lang, review lang. No? So, again, SG 3, ilan ang target niya? 13. Tama? So, ang SG 3 natin, meron siyang 13 targets and ito yung mga yon. Okay? So, ayan. Okay, so next, no, what's the goal, no? SDG target 3.1, okay? So SDG target 3.1. Now, this SDG 3 has 13 targets, no? The first 9 are outcome targets. Nung first 9 natin, these are the outcome targets, no? Like, you will reduce the maternal and child deaths, no? You will control the disease and achieve the universal health coverage. After that, the lettered targets 3.A to 3D, 3.8 to 3D, 3.8 to 3D, ito, focus on how to achieve these goals, no? Such as tobacco control, ano pa, research and access to medicines, funding, health workers, and global preparedness, no? So the letters here, no, signal that these are implementation strategies and not outcome goals, okay? So ayan. Now, what is the goal, no? So SDG target 3.1 is very specific by 2030. So the global maternal mortality ratio should fall below 70 deaths per 100,000 live births. Remember that the MMR stands for maternal mortality rate is not a head count, no? It is the rate that tells us how many women die for every 100 births, kung ilan ang namamatay ng mga babae during sa kanilang panganganak. Notice that for maternal mortality, we report deaths per 100,000 per live births, no? Bakit 100,000? Okay? So, why 100,000? So, why 100,000 is being used in MMR? Maternal deaths are relatively rare events, no, compared to the number of births. If we just report deaths per 1,000 live births, no, ibig sabihin the number would often be less than 1, which is hard to interpret. Kaya nga 100,000 yan. Okay? So, yan. So the MMR is the number of maternal deaths per 100,000 live births in a given year natin. Okay? Where do maternal deaths occur? Now, usually, no, doon sa mga low income, no, versus the high income countries. Now, here's where inequality shows up, no. In 2023, the maternal mortality ratio in low income countries was about 346, while sa ating mga high income countries na naman, it was only 10. Okay? So that's more than 30-fold difference. So this is not just about global average, no? It's about equity, where a woman lives and what kind of health system she has access to can mean the difference between life and death. Okay? So so one critical dimension of where maternal deaths occur is who is most at risk by age, no? By age naman. So evidence shows, no, that the adolescents girls, no, usually 10 to 19 years old, face higher rates of serious complications. For example, meron silang eclampsia, may nagkakaroon sila ng systemic infection, tsaka yung mga postpartum infection compared to women age 20 to 24. And in several studies, no, girls under 15 have many times higher risk of death in pregnancy or childbirth than women in the early 20s. Through the data, through the data, no, medyo nakakatakot, 'di ba? Which means estimate are less precise. Okay? So this shows that the age is not just a number. Okay? It's a major factor in inequalities in maternal health. We might see high over all MMR, but within the average are groups, no, like very young adolescents, no, who are much more exposed to risk. Okay? So next, no, so the Philippines has made progress, no. Yung MMR natin drop from 117 to 84 per 100,000. Okay? From 117 naging 84 na lang per 100,000 child live births. Okay? So sa tingin nyo, mataas pa rin yung 84, di ba? So, but still above the SGT 3.1 na ang target ay ilan? Less than 70. 84 ang talang tayo ngayon, ang target ng SGD ay less than 70. Kaya ba natin yan by the year 2030? Okay, so ilang taon na lang bago mag-year 2030, 5 years from now. So there's work to do, especially ensuring access to quality maternal care, prenatal and postnatal services, no? Skilled birth attendants. So mga midwife natin dapat mag-train pa, okay? So it also suggests, no, inequalities, no? So inequalities remain, no, in rural versus urban, rich versus poor communities like have different maternal mortality rate natin. So why women do not get care they need? Bakit nga ba? Because of the poverty. Okay, so poverty can limit the access to maternal care because it often leads to financial barriers. Okay, so may financial barriers. Now, women's and families living in poverty may struggle to afford transportation, di ba? Medical fees or even basics necessities, no? So this financial constraint can determine them, no, for seeking essential prenatal and child birth services natin. Next, distance, no? So the physical distance to healthcare facilities can be significant barrier, especially dun sa rural areas natin. Now, yung mga pregnant women na yan, they has to travel long distance, no, para lang ma-reach yung kanilang healthcare facilities. Okay? So it can delay or discourage, no, her from seeking care, particularly during emergencies. Nalalayuan sila. Okay? Next, lack of information Hello? Pasensya na ha. Nagpa-flack out kasing kuryente dito. Malakas ang bagyo dito. I think we're on signal number 4 right now. Okay, so anong huli kong nasabi? Anyone? Asa na tayo? Anong huli niyong narinig? Carl, saan na tayo?
Sa poor quality service po, sir.
Thank you. Now,